Welcome everyone to AARP Wyoming's 2026 Video Voter Guide Series. I'm Tom Laycock with AARP Wyoming, and today we're joined by Kevin Helling, who's running for the Wyoming Legislature in Senate District 27, located in Natrona County. AARP has a proud 40-year history of nonpartisan voter engagement and does not endorse or oppose candidates, nor does AARP make contributions to political campaigns or candidates at any level. Instead, we ask questions so our members understand where the candidates sit on important issues and can make their own decisions on Election Day. Today, I'll ask Dr. Helling 3 questions, allowing for a 1-minute and 30-second response to each. Then we'll give him 2 minutes to deliver his pitch to the voters of Senate District 27. So, Dr. Helling, our first question is this. Recent AARP survey data suggests 80% of older adults wish to age in their homes and communities as they get older. If elected, what would you do to ensure older Wyoming residents can stay in their homes and communities as long as they can?
All right. Well, thank you, Tom, for the introduction, and thank you for the AARP for putting this on. I think one of the most important pieces of running a campaign that I've noticed is just getting a direct voice to constituents, people that will rely on me to do the right thing. And so I really appreciate the opportunity to do this. I think everyone, including myself, my parents that I know, would like to stay aging at home as long as they possibly can. People build their lives around their communities and in their homes, and I think it's just very important that they at least have the option to do that. Barriers exist, obviously, to that, and some of it actually overlaps a lot with what I see as a doctor. People need access to their healthcare providers. They need good healthcare providers that can see them. Telehealth, opportunities to see their docs under the most easy circumstances as possible. And then in addition to that, we need to make sure that the services that retirees rely on are readily available, well-funded, meal delivery, transportation, things like that, that if we do that, we can help people to stay at home. And finally, we need to be really supportive of caregivers, both family members or professional caregivers that are helping people age at home and enjoying themselves.
Well, thank you very much. Our second question is this. AARP's 2023 Vital Voices survey and our 2025 member survey show that our members are seeking candidates who will help protect them from fraud and scams. In recent years, we've seen scammers evolve to using crypto ATMs and deed fraud to separate Wyoming residents from their cash. How would you work to protect older adults from fraud and scams?
Older adults, it could be potentially, a higher rate of victimization by fraud and scams. It doesn't just steal money. It steals livelihood. It steals peace of mind and well-being, sometimes a lifetime of earned income. And so we do need to protect our retirees from those fraud and scams. One of the first things would be to make it very easy to report and investigate those crimes so that the people who perpetrate them can be brought to justice. We also need to make sure that the punishments fit the crime. And anytime a criminal, goes after people who are in a vulnerable position, that is a particularly egregious crime, in my opinion, and that should be punished, severely so that it deters people from even trying to do this. But the technology behind some of these scams and fraud is so advanced at this point. We need to be really supportive of retirees so that they know who they can report potential crime to, what's going to actually happen once it's reported, and how can we make them whole again after they've been the victim of that. And that goes beyond just the prevention side. We need to work on education, deterrence with strict punishments.
Well, thank you. Our third and final question for today. We know Wyoming residents are concerned about rising property taxes. While property taxes can be burdensome for some, they also fund critical state and local services. These services include local transportation, home-delivered meals, and home health services that keep older adults aging in place. If elected, how would you balance the need for relief with ensuring critical services are in place?
This is a complex question that seems to come up a lot on the campaign trail. And I know that many older adults are worried about getting taxed out of their homes, which um, I don't believe that any person who owns their home should be taxed to the point of not being able to afford it. But you're right, there are certain services that require tax income to fund them. And, my promise would be to look as closely as I can on how any of that tax revenue is being spent and find ways to reduce unnecessary spending. I don't see we have to absolutely protect people from rising property taxes. And I just don't see that as the primary mechanism that we have as a state for funding essential services. So I think we need to find another way to find that money that doesn't involve taxing folks, especially our retired folks who often are living on a fixed income. And a lot of it, I think, comes down to just ensuring the overall financial health of the state of Wyoming. When Wyoming is prospering, then we don't rely so heavily on things like property tax. So I will work hard to make sure that nobody gets taken out of their home as a result of property tax increases. That just won't happen if I have any say on it.
Well, thank you for taking the time to answer our 3 questions. Now let's give you 2 minutes to explain why you think you're the right man to represent Senate District 27.
All right. Thank you again. And thank you for everyone who's stuck with it this long to watch. I've spent my career in Wyoming as a general surgeon, taking care of people in various leadership roles. I'm a Wyoming native, grew up right here in Casper, and I feel really called to serve the people of Senate District 27. There are a lot of issues that we face today. Undeniably, many of them center around healthcare, which is, obviously an area that I've worked for the past 20 years. But there are a lot of issues that maybe we don't even know what they are yet that are going to come down the pipe in the next 3 or 4 years. And I have a demonstrated history of good judgment, a steady hand under pressure. That's the catch line for the campaign as a surgeon, a steady hand for Wyoming. And I just really think that my experience and expertise would lend itself nicely to the state Senate. I also want to, comment on the retirees of today. Your generation has adapted more and built more than any generation probably in the history of mankind. As I think back even to my childhood, I'm 45 years old, a rotary phone on the wall with a, computer off somewhere that fills a room, and now we've got smartphone computers in our pockets. And so your generation has had to adapt more than any other generation, and I want to express my gratitude for the engineering, just everything that you built throughout your lives that we're all benefiting from today. So thank you to our retirees for that. And just amazing to see the changes that have come through over the course of your lifetime and even still into the future. Now we're dealing with artificial intelligence doing things. So I commend you and I thank you again for taking the time to listen to this and watch.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Helling. We appreciate your time, and we appreciate the time of everyone that chose to watch this video by Voter Guide with us. We encourage you to keep checking Cowboy State Daily and AARP Wyoming's Facebook for more voter guides in the days to come.